Sit. Sit. Calm down. Sit. Y'all look at his adult fur trying to come in at the top. Are you calm, buddy? Say yes, mama. Say yes, mama. All right, come on. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Y'all, his adult hair is really, y'all see this rug? Gone. Ah, Draco. And now he's figured out where the toilet water is. Draco, get out the toilet. Nasty tail self. Let's go. Okay, y'all. Go ahead. Go roam freely. We have another channel, Postell on Acres. And we already have one video filmed that I have to edit. I had so much other stuff to do that was literally like priority, like all my brand deals and catching up. I literally just now posting the New York video, and it's already been like a week or so. But anyways, we have another channel, Postell on Acres, and that channel is going to be dedicated to, which I've said this before, but everybody doesn't watch every video, but it's going to be dedicated to me and Jeremy's journey with homesteading and just pretty much everything that we do for our land. Oh, so much poop that way. But everything that we do for our land, from all the, I don't want to say renovations for the land, but homesteading. I know y'all know what that means, but we're going to be getting chickens. We're going to be building a garden. We have our tiny home. They actually called yesterday to schedule a delivery, and I told them to like give us over the weekend because we still have to, we're running into some issues, figure all that out on that other channel. We're going to talk about all of that in great detail. It probably could be out by the time y'all see this video, because I know I have like one video before this, so it probably could already be out. And then I think we're going to be dropping our next video next week sometime. So yes, definitely go and check that out. But we just have so many different things. So we're about to start our garden, and we're going to the nursery today. So I'm about to stop this clip and then start filming for the other channel. But I just wanted to say, because a lot of people have been messaging me about like, oh my gosh, I can't wait like for you guys to do the gardening and like start that process. So I want y'all to tune in from start to finish so y'all can start this journey if you've ever wanted to garden, because we're gonna literally take y'all on the whole process so y'all can be growing y'all own fruits and vegetables as well. But just wanted to say what we're doing, and my hair is wrapped up underneath this thing, y'all. I didn't unwrap it because it was so cold. But so
dig up all the tomato roots and just start like.
So what I think we should do is you got your phone out here? Take a video of what this looks like, so when we get to the nursery we can show that lady what it's looking like, so she can like advise us more. We have a already pre-built fence. Let me try to stand back as well so y'all can see. But you see like what I'm talking about, y'all. We would literally only have to move this tree out the way and those small bushes to bring the tiny home this way. So I was telling babe like we could save money. We've already started getting quotes and it was very pricey, and then also trying to buy more equipment ourselves to just do it ourselves. But either way it goes, like I was like, well, we could just probably take it this way. So hopefully we can, y'all. But I'm also keeping in mind we did get a tiny home that is 12 by 36, so it is one of the larger ones. But yeah, so this is the garden that we have. We're starting at ground zero. Y'all, this is just so emotional. I actually haven't even been in here yet, but this is so emotional because like this is gonna be my baby, and I just know like we're gonna change so many lives, including our own. But this is the thing you was talking about, right?
What?
These are the things you was trying to order? It's just not.
No. It's like, what you mean?
Like the things you had told me to look up last night to order. Is that not this?
It was something like that. But look, this is what I was saying, babe. We can go ahead and extend this out. We just gotta get some more of these poles and some more of these, and I can just go ahead and extend this out or extend it this way. However, which way, we got to figure out which way we're gonna bring the garden.
I think we should take it back that way.
Yeah, but well, we have to wait till we get the house in first before I start doing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because then we're gonna bring it through this way.
But then don't you think like if we do have any other projects on the property, like they're gonna always have to come this way because it'll be easier? Because then if not.
No, because we're gonna eventually have to clear that out. That's the way where everything's supposed to come, regardless. This is just alternative route, which we really don't even supposed to be using this way, but I guess for right now, until we get the trees cut down, we can use it.
Draco's
But
here, y'all.
that's the way right there, where everything that comes in the backyard has to go through that way.
Okay. Okay. Film. Show me, like, come into the thing. Okay, y'all. So this is what the previous homeowner, the people who built the house and did everything, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. So we really want to make them happy because this was their baby, which we've already let die. But yeah, so this is just how they had everything gardened, and they just had tomatoes and what else is it?
It was just all different type of tomatoes, just different type, and some green beans on the wall. Well, on the.
Oh, so these were green beans.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the green beans. I feel like we would do better off.
No, we do need to do green beans.
Oh, you want to do the green beans?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, right now when we're going to the nursery, we're gonna send her pictures so we can see what the heck we're doing.
So y'all, but these things right here do still have like the beans in them.
Really?
Yeah. So like when they fall, they're gonna replant.
Oh, these?
Yeah, when they fall, they're gonna replant themselves. That's just the nature of life. You see, look.
What? Okay. So we need to clean all the leaves. Oh wow.
So if I drop this right here, it's gonna literally replant itself, y'all. It's gonna replant itself.
So do we need to like?
I mean, we could definitely,
come in and pick it all out. Well,
yeah, we could come and clean it up. Yeah, when we get there, we'll just.
Draco, I see you have major. And we have so another thing, you guys, is we have a lot of deer, like a lot. And some days they're on our property heavy, and sometimes we don't see them for like a few days. But we have to keep this fenced in. I don't really see any other animals but deer. No, squirrels as well. But squirrels can get in here if they wanted to. The deers are really my biggest concern with this garden because I feel like they're going to sense all the things we're doing and like start trying to feed on it. So I'm a little nervous about that. And they predominantly come in from this area and they run through that area.
Boy, they literally come from all over, y'all. Literally all over the yard. But like I said, they don't get inside here because we obviously have it fenced out, so they can't get inside here. Now we would have had the plants like closer towards like where the gate is or whatever, then they'll be able to stick their head through and get it. But everything is like centered in the middle, so that's why we really have to expand the whole gate out and expand it back this way.
So this stuff right here, you're saying you didn't want to take these trees out?
No, because when I was springtime, those gonna look gorgeous. Like it's certain trees, it's certain plants and stuff over here, and we don't want to touch because springtime. Because like obviously everything is dead now. Like the trees, everything is naked now. So and that's the reason why the tomatoes and stuff is not. It looks the way it looks because it's cold. I know, because it's cold. That's why it looks like this, babe. But that's what I'm saying. We would have had the greenhouse, we would have been able to regulate the temperature. They wouldn't even look like this. So in the wintertime, all of the plants, it's only certain plants and vegetables that'll grow in the wintertime, like lettuce, romaine, all stuff like that. But since it's cold outside, that's why the tomato plants look like these. But like I said, well, I don't know if she told y'all or not, but we are going to get us a little greenhouse, y'all. So, y'all, we're going to get us a greenhouse so we can start growing year round. We can take certain plants inside the greenhouse, or we really can make this like a greenhouse type thing. We just got to get like a covering and put like a top roof on top of it and just make it a covering and then just regulate the temperature. Put like whatever we got to learn. Y'all know we still learn this stuff as we go also. So I'm not going to get on here and tell y'all, well, we're going to do this. Like we still got to go ask some questions ourselves. So. But I do know how it's supposed to be though.
But you're saying, so you want to just you're going to unscrew these. Because you can just
Yeah. I can unscrew this part right here. Yeah, I can unscrew these right here, and like these poles right here, just boom, plant one right here.
I think that probably would be our best bet.
Yeah, and then just get some more of those, and then just do it like that, because we already have 2 doors that enter.
Put the fertilizer on the ground.
Yeah, but
come and blow these leaves out.
Yeah, we got to get the leaves out, y'all. I guess we'll probably just go ahead and dig up the roots on the tomato plants right now. Go ahead and dig them up and just start from scratch and just line it up, like do watermelons, however we're gonna do it. We could grow some strawberries and blueberries on the fence,
and then get the pots, because we found a guy who also had like the pots. So we're going to the nursery right now because I've been doing so much research. I've been looking at so many people's videos, I've had a consult with one of my keys on my main page for the page that I've been having. One of my keys actually reached out and she did a consult with me over the weekend about like gardening and all those different things, because you got to know what zone you're in. I think we're in zone 8 in Georgia, so everything is based off of like your first frost and the last frost and things like that. So we're about to go now to the nursery just to see what they have, and I don't want to do too much and get too much and then just be overwhelmed and then we kill everything and waste money. So I do want to, hopefully they have like the pot for like the lemons, so we can do a lemon pot today. And then I've been talking to some people on Facebook Marketplace, which is also our best friend, for like the fertilizer and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure they have that at the nursery.
Yeah. So,
oh no, compost.
Yeah.
Because we need so fertilizer is not compost.
Nah, fertilizer is like certain stuff to maintain your plants.
And then compost is what?
Compost is to like to start it off. Well, I think fertilizer and compost are the same. Like that's the soil. That's the soil to start your plants.
Okay.
So,
child, that's a lot. So come with us, y'all, to the nursery.
Yeah. So we finna all learn something new today, y'all. So that's why we doing this channel, so y'all can be with us every step of the way, and we all can learn this, because like we're not just doing this for our, for the betterment of our family, or what we're doing it for that part of that reason, but we're also doing this for y'all too, because I know a lot of people out there want to homestead, a lot of people out there want to grow their own fruits and vegetables and to be able to sustain for themselves. And that's just what life is about. We got to learn and we got to share the knowledge with each other, y'all. And I'm all for that, because on all the channels that I watch, I'm learning, like, and I thank God for those channels, because I'm learning a thing or two from them people, you know what I'm saying, just based off of them doing what they want to, based off of them doing the things that they have to do for their home, you see what I'm saying? So I think that's what we are, well, I know that's where we're all here from, to feed and to give each other and to regurgitate information out to everybody, so everybody can learn how to do this stuff, y'all. And now y'all can start y'all channel of doing homesteading or whatever y'all got to do or whatever. But so yeah, y'all, we finna go ahead and head to this nursery, finna see exactly what all we got to do, what all we got to get, how we got to do it, and how we got to get it. And yeah, be back.
Y'all, Draco loves being out here with us, and I love him being out here with us. No, I had to turn it back on. Okay, y'all, so while we're on our way to the nursery, I want to kind of like talk to y'all about some of the pros and cons that we've experienced thus far with having a property with like so many acres. And I'm gonna drive because I don't feel like readjusting my seats after he drives, because he's so long. But the biggest downfalls thus far with our like managing all these acres have been the leaves. That has literally been like my #1 con, because it's a lot. Did you get the thing for the oil?
What thing for the oil?
I thought you said we had to get oil.
Yeah, we just look it up.
But oh, you didn't have to bring nothing with you? Okay, guys, we made it. This is our second stop, because where we went the first time, she actually told us to come here. So luckily it wasn't too far. It was like an additional like 25-30 minutes. But this place is called Turner's Feed and Farm Supply. So we're gonna go in and see what they have. Oh, this is bird feeding, and
okay, we need to grow some sunflowers so you can have your sunflower seeds.
Yeah, and then I wonder, do we like rent these to like do? And isn't this how we move the trees? Or is this the thing that move the trees? Look at all this stuff. I don't know if this is where we're going. Oh, hey, how are you? Okay, thank you so much.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm a YouTuber.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
all right, thank you.
Main glass doors behind that white truck.
All right, thank you. People be scared of this camera these days. But hey, it's gonna give people some exposure. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Okay, boom, here we are. Okay, so maybe we should get help. Let's get some help, and then we can. Oh, this is stuff for drink. Yes, we do. We wanted to get some. Okay, guys, a failed mission. It was informative, but from our research, since we are in zone 8, they said that we could start planting like garlic, onions, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that I wrote down. But thank you, babe. But he did a whole thing of explaining like when they actually get the seeds that are tested, because you don't want to just go get any kind of seeds, y'all. Well, you can if you want to. Some people, they just start off with like cheaper seeds. Thank you. Cheaper seeds, so that you don't so they can like figure it out. But I'm ambitious. I've always been ambitious, so I'm just like, yeah, the trial and error, we gonna invest in the real stuff, because it's not like it just sprouts in a day or two. So we don't want to just be wasting time. So we're gonna just focus strictly on the tiny house right now. We'll keep this footage just to let y'all know, just for learning purposes, since this is all trial and error. I told y'all in our last video, this is trial and error for us. But we're gonna head on over to Home Depot, because we do have some DIY projects we wanted to do in the house. So I guess this is our sign to focus on DIY projects and getting some oil for cutting down trees.
Yeah. So I guess while it's cold outside, we're gonna let the cold be outside and work on the warmth inside the house. So yeah, we got some stuff in the basement we gotta do. We still gotta get our island. We got a lot of stuff we gotta do. So we're just gonna take this time to focus on that. And I guess Valentine's Day, early March, then that's when we're gonna go back outside in the garden. But I guess we just gonna use this time now to focus on the tiny house and focus on DIY projects inside the house that we need to get done. Also, you can make this left way. That's just what's going on, y'all. So we literally done came up to Home Depot. Y'all, Keesha is not taking no for an answer. She said, look at this sun beaming down on us right now. We can get her something growing. So she's literally on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
She's saying peppers, but I don't want to grow peppers.
She's literally trying to beat the odds, y'all.
She's talking about bell peppers or regular peppers. We don't even eat regular peppers.
But we got peppers growing on our land already.
But I wasn't gonna plan on like maintaining that, because I don't feel like we even cook with our own. We don't even.
But we are gonna start using peppers and stuff. You the one that like spicy stuff? What do you mean? You can start making your own hot Cheetos, your own all that type of stuff, eh?
No, I gotta stay away from hot Cheetos.
See, look.
So look,
6 hours or more of sun, and they already whimpering. Yeah, Bay is not taking no for an answer. Hold on, let's go through the front. So yeah, y'all. They said no, we could plant something in a flower pot or something. Well, we could grow it in our kitchen in the windowsill. Yeah, she's trying to go back to biology class on this, y'all. She's trying to go back to biology class. We need to get one.
You want to get the wood for the thing to extend it? Damn, we didn't even take the measurements.
Oh yeah, for the wood that we don't need. I mean, but if we just buy long enough wood, we can just. But for real though, that wood I really need to just find something. So
just the first couple of weeks of January.
I really can just go ahead and cut some of them trees down and use some of that wood to extend it. Like for real, cause we got all them trees one night. I've been cutting them down into little bitty logs, so it's not long enough, whatever. But I know we definitely can do that. Y'all. I just have to find something or buy something to get it debarked the tree, and then just cut them down in its correct increments or whatever. But yeah, y'all, we in Home Depot. Yeah, they got everything. No, but you mean like in a windowsill, like in biology class, you put something in the windowsill? We got a whole sunroom to grow stuff in, man.
Burpee, I've heard of that. Burpee, that's what
So yeah, these are the seeds right here.
This is the company that I just found. I have them saved. Let me see.
They got eggplants, cucumbers, kale, lettuce.
They had reviews.
They got our sweet corn, sweet peppers, tomatoes, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, beets. They got everything, y'all.
I'm subscribing to
They got okra. Right?
I love okra. Okay, let me go to mine.
They got all type of stuff. And this right here, this the herbs. They got lemon, basil, parsley, lavender, cilantro. Oh yeah, and this is the fruits and vegetables right here. Where the fruits. They got watermelon, babe. They got everything.
I'm trying to see. Somebody just had burpee in there.
They got squash. And over here, these the other like flowers and stuff. You know, some more tomatoes. That's why we just need to get this. We're gonna get here and go home and watch YouTube videos and then let them folk teach us and we're gonna come back and teach y'all. That's how we need to do that. Oh yeah, babe, look. There go the wood cutter right here, y'all. Yeah, we can, yeah, for sure. And we're gonna cut down, and we cut down all them bushes in the front of our house. We need to.
What you wanna do? Sunflowers?
No. We're gonna have bees all around our front porch.
Well, let's think about that later.
Yeah. Let's think about that later. Cause we got to think about what the bees gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
But we're supposed to be putting those pollen traps for bees to come to our fruit.
Yeah, I know. But that's why we gotta get the garden together first. Then we can worry about all that. But this right here, what we need right here for the tree branches and stuff.
How much is this?
Oh no. And then and I was saying we can use one of them to keep it warm in our sunroom. If we're gonna start growing now, we can use one of these to keep it warm in the sunroom. So, you know what I'm saying? To regulate the temperature.
This is the type of classes they need to have in school.
Yeah. Yeah, cause we ain't learned none of this stuff in school. Oh, we did. I ain't pay attention.
Like I'm about to start a school, and that's what I'm gonna teach: finance, harvesting, real estate. Like everybody's gonna try to send their kids to my school.
I think that'll be awesome.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I am about to make my bed. I usually make my bed as soon as I come back from taking the girls to school. And I got home and had to literally get straight to work because we have to go to a meeting for real estate today. So I want to make sure I am on time. It's 9:30. Me and Babe are doing a DIY project for our living room. I think I told y'all this yesterday, but yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and do my part and finish painting what I was supposed to be painting so that by the time I leave, Babe can do the touch-ups on his portion. And because we only have like one, no, we actually have two big rollers, but I don't want to get both the big rollers with the black paint because for some reason like once you use black paint on the roller, it's like it's over with. So we have decided to officially do our downstairs bathroom renovation by ourselves. Now I don't know why we got the big head with this because we're doing so good with this. If y'all want to see that video, I don't know if it'll be out before this vlog comes out, but it could be. So go check it out if it is. If not, then it'll probably be out within like the next day or two. But yeah, we're doing so good. But I think painting was not what I was most nervous about because I know taking your time with painting, anyone can do it. What I'm most nervous about is doing the tile and the grout work. So that's going to be a fun task tomorrow. And my hair looks crazy. I've been waiting for this brand to approve my video because if they need anything to be corrected, it was initially done on my natural hair, and I'm praying to God because I don't think I can wait any longer. I'm praying that, because if they need any corrections, I have to do it on my natural hair. So if I put a wig back on, the only way I can correct something is to redo the entire video because I will now have a wig, and I don't want to have to do that. So I've been messaging them the last 72 hours like, hey, can you please give me an update? They gave me feedback and then talked about the post time that they wanted out, but they didn't tell me if they needed me to make any corrections or anything. So I'm trying to wait. But yeah, let me multitask y'all because I need to multitask. But yes, so I have decided that I want, because I've had so many people reaching out to me about my walk with God and everything like that. So I've decided, like within my journey, I want people to feel like like I want to be on the same starting ground with everyone at the same time, who I'm also trying to help with their walk. So I don't know if it'll be helpful that like if I just start incorporating a lot of stuff on my community posts, like I'll just take an excerpt every so often, put it on my community post, or share a sermon that I watched for the day, and then add something from the Bible on my community post. Ouch. Sheesh. The girls' toys, y'all, they be messing me up, these little bitty pieces. But and they really be keeping up with it. I'm like, how do you keep up with this little bitty pot? Like, y'all. And when I see it, like my mom, she used to type, let me show y'all. My mom's the type, like I'll see her sweeping up something in the house, and then I'm like, what's that in that pile, Ma? And it'll be something for the girls. Like, I saw this little shoe. I'm like, Ma, why you got that girl's doll shoe swept up? But they really love playing with their toys. So I try to, try my best not to throw it away. But I be seeing those memes of parents being like, I can't wait to sweep up that little bitty baby burger patty. But anyways, y'all. Or if every vlog moving forward, for my intro of the vlog, because I've been thinking like of what intro I want for my vlogs moving forward. And since I have still not filmed anything, because I wanted something on the drone footage, but since I still haven't filmed anything yet, I was thinking of, well, maybe I can start every vlog off with a word from God or a message or something like that, and do it like that. Like something real quick. It's not going to be like long and drawn out or anything like that. Not anything probably longer than 1 minute, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. And then, the vlog will start. I was thinking about that. Or just something that I've learned. Because I just got to hold myself accountable in every regard. Because for God to give me another chance to make it into his kingdom, like I have to be so grateful about his mercy. Like I have to be so grateful that he is so gracious, to give me another chance. So, and y'all, if y'all see all that mess over there, that's the girls learning stuff. And all my clothes. I want to just continue to hold myself accountable so that I don't fall short anymore or ever again. And I don't want it to always be like an excerpt from the Bible or something like that. Even if it's like a small testimony, even if it's like a mini story, like that's 2 minutes long or less, like a little testimony or something I have reflected on, just something godly based. Like I just want to start it off godly based. Would y'all like that, or would y'all want me to just stick to just putting something on my community post? Or I can do both. I can also, ever so often share things. I was thinking about, because someone else was like, Keesha, don't let the fact that you can't quote, because so many people are messaging me, y'all. I'm like, I got so much stuff. But someone messaged me and was like, don't let the fact that you can't quote scripture like off the top of your head discourage you from like starting your group and rallying other like-minded individuals to have those type of conversations. So just be encouraged to still do it, because people will support it. And I don't know, I'm going to pray about it, because I told myself moving forward with everything I do, every decision I make, like I used to also be at a point where I felt like I just always had to like, and this is not more specific with God, but just in general, like a personality trait I have. It's like I always felt like, oh, I always got to give a response so quickly. Like I've learned within like the last even few days, it's only been a few days since I learned this, like I can take my time to respond to things. I can take my time to think about things. I can take my time to pray to God for encouragement or, what he feels that I should do. Like I've always sought out God, or like if I'm in emotion of things. And this is something like that I was talking to one of my friends, who I was talking about my journey right now. I was like, I feel so selfish, because I remember when I miscarried, I was so upset with God. Like, how dare you? Like, how dare you? But not like that, but just kind of like, why me? That was more like, like, why me, God? Like, how could this happen? This, that, and the third. And he was like, how could this happen? Well, it started off with you fornicating, like, and I didn't even think about it like that in that time. And I'm not saying everyone, because everyone who miscarries is not fornicating. Everyone who miscarries is not sinning. Like, you can be married, or you could be married. You could be actually having sex with your husband and still miscarry. So that's not what I'm talking about. However, there are lessons that we individually learn within our sinful ways, and that's one of the things that I was reflecting on, because I have been doing the work to really, like, I'm going back in my life and just thinking about different things that have happened. And I'm like, okay, was God in this situation when this happened? Okay, was I calling on God when this happened? How deep in my Bible was this when this happened? And this is another quick testimony. And then I gotta go. My best friend just called me, and I know she probably want to talk about something. But real quick, and I hate these stories, because half the time y'all can probably read who I'm talking about. How can I say this? I can't even say it without just saying what happened. I might have to just say what happened. I think maybe God really, like, he stood me still for so long on YouTube because he needed me to not just get away from trolls. He wasn't like, oh yeah, I need you away from these trolls, so you need to go find another career. I think he stood me still because he needed to set me up for when I started opening my mouth back up again, it needed to look more like him. It needed to be testifying about him. It needed to be talking about him, gloating about him. Constantly. I need to be constantly speaking about him. Because every time I pick up my camera, he's my first thought now. Like something, the message or something. But real quick, because I gotta go. I had a business. And if you understand, then you understand. I'm trying to be still politically correct on the internet. And still, I have no ill intentions, no malice, no nothing. But I had a business. I started the business. I added someone to be a business partner to that business because I felt as though, like, they weren't really supportive of my business. Like, they weren't rallying for me, championing me. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you have this business or anything. It was like that. It was kind of like, seemed like it felt like more envy. And I was like, you know what? How about I add you on the business as well? And they showed up in the beginning to like meetings, but essentially, long story short, I did all the groundwork. I did all the planning for the business. I did all the work. I built the business. I had an investor for the business. And, after filing taxes the first year, everything fell on me financially for taxes. Like, I was the one taxed, this, that, and the third. Even though it was a joint business at that time, 50-50, I was still taxed. I was the one penalized. I'm the one who had to pay back this, that, and the third. After that, I decided, like, let me invest into some educating myself about how to actually run a business, because I'm never going to let another company or entity take profit to what I'm the one doing the work for. Did the work, figured out how to reinvent the business, rebuilt the business by myself. Got my own vendors, did everything, and I still have this person as a part of the business for years. So we had made an agreement we would never touch a dollar in the business. Like, we would never touch a dollar in the business. Let's just keep all the money in the business account. Great idea from that person, by the way. It was a great idea. It's like, okay, we both have our own jobs. We're both making money with our own jobs. We're not needing nothing. So why spend the money? Let's wait to invest it into something bigger. So it was a great idea. Next thing you know, that person started having like little issues with this or little issues with that. They didn't have the money. They're like, oh, let me just go into the business account. I'm like, okay, sure, okay. And that was just happening over and over and over again. Like, they just kept going to the business for their own little personal things. And I'm like, okay. And they just did that. Mind you, they didn't do work for the business. They didn't do orders. They didn't put together things to grow the business. No marketing, no planning, no photo shoots, no nothing, literally nothing. And that's just what it was. But I was content with it because I'm just like, we're still making so much money with the business. This is going to pay off in the end, blah, blah, blah. Then at some point we decided, like, we need to sit down. We sit down talking about other stuff, but in the midst of it, of course, we had to talk about business stuff. And I'm just like, hey, I need you to help me with the business. And they were like, okay, I'll start helping. Like, I got this to do, I got that to do, so I gotta really make time for it. And I'm like, well, I got even more to do, even helping you, and I'm still doing the business. So we're gonna both be making the money 50-50. We both need to be, excuse me, pouring into the business physically, mentally, all of these things, some contribute in some form or fashion. So that still wasn't happening. So long story short, me and that person parted ways, but not really business wise. Towards the end of it, we parted ways, just like our own personal relationship. We parted ways, but we still had a business together. So this is mindful. I help when I have people call me now about businesses, I help them because of this experience right here. But anyway, so everything was still 50-50. Everything was set up 50-50. The account was still 50-50, everything. But we just personally decided to part ways. However, prior to parting ways, I told that person, like, well, since you hadn't been doing nothing for the business this whole entire time anyways, like, I think that you should have 30% of the business instead of 50%, which is still a lot for doing nothing, I thought. And they were, more so specifically worried about our personal relationship than the business thing. And then they kind of started using the business to like try to build that back up. Like, well, let me come over and help with the business now that we personally decided to part ways. And I'm like, I don't think that that's a good idea. You weren't helping before. I've washed my hands with this. I don't really want anything personally, so let's just we can still do business stuff. So I would let them come over, but I realized they were only coming over to try to talk about stuff that didn't have nothing to do with the business. So you were just using the business to be like, okay, I can still try to weasel my way in, type of thing. And then I had to literally set the law. And I think once they realized the personal aspect of this relationship is really no more, then this is the problem. So now it's like, okay, I'm gonna get you where it hurts. So now, long story short, because there's still a lot of moving parts within that, but let's just jump to the end. One day I woke up and that person had withdrawn half the money out of our mutual bank account. Now, some can argue and say, well, it still was mutually y'all's business together. And others can argue, how can you feel so entitled to something that you did not work for, did not do, literally nothing, but your name is on it. So it comes from legal standpoints, it comes from taxes standpoints, all those different things play a part in it. But what happened when I woke up and I saw I got the alert on the bank account and I saw that money was withdrawn? Instantly I was upset. Instantly I messaged the person how dare you, and it was a lot of money off, but I was like, how dare you take half the money out? You didn't work for it, you didn't do anything, and now that you realize I'm severing my ties with you personally, you feel entitled to just take something when we both agreed to keep the money into this account. And then you have been chipping away at this, and the third. And I think they brought up the fact that I bought a computer out of the business account, because I did buy a computer, which I think they said they didn't realize. But I pulled up text messages to let them know that I did tell them, although I felt I didn't need to because I was the one doing the business. But anyways, I did tell them, so they didn't have that argument. But either way it goes, they did not care. So immediately I called the bank, closed that account down, moved the money elsewhere, and then went into the LLC, changed them, removed them off, blah, 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 all those different things. But I remember when I was texting my friends, my family, oh my gosh, they took half the money out the bank account. I remember I text everyone and then I went right back to sleep because something had told me God is going to make this okay. And during that time period when this happened, that's when I literally had just gotten back into the church. I had not been in the church since God knows when. I probably only went to the church growing up with my friends. I had some friends who I was best friends with. Their families went to church. I would be going to church with them. We didn't really have a church home growing up. I did not grow up with a family that was church. My dad was a 7-day Adventist, or his family practiced 7-day Adventist. And my mom, she believed in God, but she didn't really have a church home. Now, I don't remember if I, when I was a little girl, I can't really think back and I didn't ask them about it. But as far back as I can remember, we didn't have a church home or anything like that. And we had so many extracurricular activities, just like how my girls have that. We're just always so busy. We just didn't have that. We weren't watching sermons on the TV. I don't even know if they had that back in that time. But anyways, we just didn't have all of those things. So this is the first time where I really was making a conscious effort for myself. Like, I need to get into church. And by default, I actually got into the church because I was really going to the church because I was going with a guy to say goodbye when he was leaving. And I'm like, they was having a ceremony at the church. And I'm like, well, I was invited. So I'm like, okay, let me go. And I was sitting there crying in that church. Like, he was looking at me like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even really like the church like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like, would you mind, like, even when you're gone, like, I still want to come back to this church. I know that's kind of weird, but I really like church. And then after that, I was going back to church religiously. Like, I was in there, I was tired, and y'all remember this time on my channel, like, I was going crazy. I was talking about God. I was like feeling like God was moving in my life. And I just remember that situation happened like a few weeks after I started going back to church. And I felt like I was so close to God that God had an army of protection over me because I literally surrendered myself to him during that time and really was so faithful to him during that time and really poured so much of my time. Like, there was nothing that could stop me from going to that church. I don't even care. Like, nothing could stop me from going to church. Like, I was there every single Sunday. The church, the pastor, the first lady, everybody was like, oh my gosh, like I was a new member, but it felt like I've been there for so long because I was on that first row. I was so heavily invested. Like, I was giving myself, my soul, my energy, my cries. I was just hands up every single time. Like, I really felt such that conviction. And I just remember that was one of the most clear times of me remembering in my life when I was going through strife, how close I was to God and how easily he was to cover me, or I was able to see his covering because I was so close within our relationship. And like I said, when I got that alert that the money was gone, I was mad. I texted the person, then I just left it alone. I text my friends and family, and God said, it's okay. It's okay. And I just laid back down and went to sleep. I woke up, my phone was blowing. People was calling me. Oh my gosh, my sister was calling me pissed. Everybody was calling me mad, upset. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I'm about to go change some stuff, the LLC, this, that, and the third. But God said it's going to be okay. And I'll never forget the next week, because I kept telling myself, it's going to be okay. God got me. I made more money the next week than what was actually taken out of the account. And when that happened, I didn't need that to know God was real. I needed to know faith without work is dead, because I really was working actively on my relationship with God during that time. And I was quickly able to see like God's radical grace from anything that was going left. It was just like every single thing that was like trying to come at me during that time left field. Like, God was blocking it instantly, because my faith in him was so strong. My relationship with him was so strong. I had such a conviction. And that's not to say that when you believe in God, you will never have, or God will always rescue you like a damsel in distress with everything you go through. You'll, like, God is just gonna be just making miracles out of, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that was the time when I can vividly remember my faith and my work within the word and with God showed up much quicker than when I did it my way. When I did it Keisha's way, then it was just like I'm searching and seeking for God's glory and mercy, and I'm like, where are you, God? Show up for me. But I wasn't even doing the work. So of course it's going to take longer, or seemingly take longer, to see any of that mercy in such adversity. Like, and now, like when I said, I'm thinking back to like other situations in my life that like was strife. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally got God's grace during that time. And I was shooting like a shooting star, like going crazy. Like, I'm just like, this feels so good. Like, and I wasn't doing it for the money, or I wasn't begging God for nothing specifically. Genuinely, I had a great career. I just moved to Midtown. I was in the process of getting me my first luxury car. Like, I was single. So in that time of my life, I didn't feel as though like there was something I like needed, so to speak. So I genuinely, some people turn to God in a time of sickness, and some people turn to God when, they lose their job, or, they may lose a family member, mourning, grief, like so many of those different things. And we'll turn to God like, okay, God, now I need you. Like, I know I was doing this, I know I was doing that, but now I need you. I didn't turn to God because of that. Like, I genuinely, like, God fell in my lap, and I think he just kind of opened my eyes during that time. Like, you know, you haven't been to church and you make up all these excuses, and, you know, let me put a situation in your life where you gonna show up in that church. Because there are some scriptures in the Bible that talks about, like, how even Jonah, where he had a mission, he was prophesying, and it was so easy for him to prophesy to his people, his friends, his family, his like-minded people. Like, it was easy, but when God tasked him with the mission to go do something completely different, to go preach and prophesy about God and Jesus to his enemy, then Jonah was like, okay, I'm gonna abort mission. And I'm gonna share the sermon with you guys that I just watched, because it had me in complete tears. But it was like Jonah was like, I'm gonna abort mission, and, you know, boom, he got on that ship and he started going the other way that God told him not to go. And the people on the boat looking at him like, okay, we ain't never had none of these troubled waters and issues until your strange behind got on this boat. We about to blow you off. And God caught on a water animal, and they're saying that they believe it was a whale, to swallow him up, and he was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. And then God told that the fish to spit him on out right back where I told you to go, because you thought you was going to be going that way, but I'm in control and I'm going to lead you where you need to go. So I think that's kind of how it was in my life during that time. Like, yeah, you think you about to be going in this direction, but now I'm about to walk you a little happy behind where I want you to go. And you, unbeknownst to you, because I am the Alpha and Omega, I am the way maker. So I'm going to make this way for you, because I know there is a calling over your life, and I want you to be in my kingdom when this life is over, when this temporary is over. I want you to be in my kingdom. And you trying to go and do worldly things and worry about this and worry about that. And God walked me right up into that church and literally, I had that conviction over my heart. And the devil will see that. The devil would see that. The devil would see, like, oh, okay, look at her. Okay, she is getting her life together with God, which is the most important thing to do. And now look at her getting blessed. So now she really believing. Now she really on her platform talking about God. And not so fast. I'm about to walk her little happy behind right back to where she belonged, down here with me, because she ain't about to be making it to the kingdom. And boom, that's when you start hearing the whispers and the uncomfortableness of other things, because there are other people who have even a stronger conviction over their sinful lifestyle. Because you can have a conviction of the glory of God, and then you can also be convicted through the enemy and have such a sinful lifestyle, and you're now battling. It's one force against the other. It's one force against the other, and will the most strongest believer win? So since I'm so early on in my walk, my faith was shooketh as soon as the boat starts rocking, and I noticed, like, okay, this ain't as easy as when that money was taken. So okay, now hold up, wait a minute, like this don't feel comfortable. So now I'm about to just figure it out on my own, because now I gotta save myself. And that's when that's a problem. Like, we be trying to save ourselves for so often, and God is like, okay, so do you have faith or do you not? Because this looks like you can't be on the fence. You see, you have faith or you don't. Because those non-believers will not make it. So now you're doing you being contradictory to what it was. And it wasn't but so long after that, because me and Jeremy started dating in July. We didn't officially become boyfriend and girlfriend until February, but we started dating in July, and we're very serious from the gate, like moving in, this, that, and the third, shacking up, doing everything against God. Once again, we miscarried March 5th. Like, it wasn't too long after. I got baptized the day Jeremy got back down here from his basketball training, July 30th. We shacked up that same night. Guys like, what is this? Like, what? Okay, you're doing your big one right now. Okay, miss. Okay. And after that, like I said, you start going into that plateau. Things were great. You know, me and Jeremy, we living our best life. We traveling, we shopping, we this, we that. And next thing you know, the church sends out an email. I was still going to church. The church sends out an email saying that they were closing down their location, and that they were going to open up temporary locations. And it gave us 2 different areas. One of them was way too far north, and the other one was way too far south. And I was like, I can't make those. Like, God knew, like, okay, let me test you. are you going to find a way to go to where you've been convicted of, and you have been giving God the mercy of me for these last few months? Or are you going to just abandon the mission and you're going to just forsaken everything? And I stopped going to church. I'm like, well, I'm living my best life. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm out of that toxic relationship. You know, my life is on the up and up. Not that I don't have time for God, but, you know, maybe I just need to, you know, just still, you know, keep God's name alive internally. But, you know, I'll make my way back to that church house soon. As soon as they get that building back up and running, I'm going to make my way on back. I promise you, God, I'll be right back. And guess what? I was not right back. And shortly after all of that, because I was still going, I think they changed the church location maybe September. It was very early on in me and Jeremy's relationship, like when I changed it. And I had to let him know, like, hey, this is how I found the church. This is about, you know, this is what it is, and blah, blah, blah. He was okay with it. And then when the church did close, he did tell me, well, I went to this church. You want to try this church? And it was a mega church, and I did not like it. I do not like, well, I don't want to say I don't like mega churches. I just didn't feel the same conviction in that church house. So we did go to it, but I didn't feel it. And I think that was the devil saying, oh, good. Because now, you know, like, you don't got to go to that church no more. You just sit on at your house. You'll be okay. And I was like, y'all, the devil, like I said, the devil tricked me out of my blessing. He tricked me out of my spot. And y'all saw my life just go downhill from there. And it wasn't nothing about a troll, even though many of them work for the devil and work through the devil, or the devil works through them. It wasn't about that. It was about my mission and me leaving my mission. And I am here to implore you guys to please, please, please find God. Like, do not abandon the mission. No matter how hard it may be, no matter how good it may be, you gotta stay grounded in God. Because he is a way maker, but he's also a way breaker. And he will break you out of whatever high horse you think you on. And I was on a high horse of life. And like I said, I just felt like, you know, I wasn't losing money during that time. We didn't have infidelity issue. Like I said, the biggest wake-up call was the miscarriage. Like, me and Jeremy didn't have infidelity issues when we were in our dating. And then even when we became official, we didn't really have any of those issues. Nothing was, you know, if he was doing, I'm not saying he wasn't, because I know people are like, well, I'm pretty sure that I don't fucking know. And I don't even care at this point in my life. It really doesn't matter. What I know was none of that mattered. We were not official until February. And I knew all his whereabouts 90% of the time, because he was with me and we were together. We were traveling and we were back at the house. It wasn't never like he didn't get a car until January. We were dating from July up into January without him having a car. When he decided he wasn't going to take the contract for basketball, that's when he was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a car now, because he wasn't gonna get a car and have a car note and then be playing basketball. He was negotiating his contract, and they gave him a lower offer. I don't know, he got his own testimony, so I won't speak too much about his business, but they gave him a lower offer because he had a hand injury. He had broke his hand his last year playing basketball. So they gave him a lower offer. He didn't want to accept it. He decided, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a year off. All I've been doing is basketball all this time. Take a year off. I found this girl. When I found, I rekindled, a friendship. Now it's blossomed into something bigger. Like, let me just see if I can do anything else in the temporary, blah, blah, blah. So he went and got a car in January. But up until that point, it was really my car. So I always knew where it was at all the time. I had the tracker in my car. I always knew. So from January, we got the car up until, I don't know what could have been happening then. And I'm not even staying back before January. I don't dang on know. Men can do, I didn't learn, y'all. Men can do some sneaky ass shit. Like, men can be sneaky. They can be sneaky. And I can laugh about it now, y'all, but it wasn't funny then. But anyways, but God humbled me when I had that miscarriage. And it wasn't enough of a wake-up call for me to be like, dang, like, we living life wrong. Like, we should probably go get married or wait to get married before this or before that. I begged God, like, God, bless me with a child again, because there's no reason why I shouldn't have one. I'm doing everything right. Like, I remember telling God, I'm doing everything right. I got a great job. I'm in a great relationship. We're going to get married one day. All these lists of things as to why I deserve to still be pregnant. Like, I deserve to be pregnant, God. I got myself together, like I'm a good person. And I'm literally forgetting, like, this ain't my will be done. It ain't my order of operation as to why I should be blessed with a child. It's God's will. Like, I'm living outside of his will, but asking him, who's the way maker, to make it work for me. And God said, okay. Since your will should be done, okay. Okay. After I cried and begged and pleaded all that time, prayed to him, I was actively praying again. Yes, please God, please God, please God. Like, we both said we're gonna have kids. We're gonna get married one day. So imagine my mother freaking surprise when lust came knocking at my door. And God said so clearly, but I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him when he came knocking. I saw lust, but I didn't hear God, because I was like, I know this ain't of God. And God said, I can show you better than I can tell you. But I didn't hear it at that time. I hear it now. I can show you better than I can tell you, because you wanted this to be about you and what and how. And you have to be careful, because you could be on a journey with God yourself, and the person that you're with is not. Be mindful of those things as well. You have to be mindful of those things as well, because y'all have to be equally. And yeah, people used to be in the comments like, y'all not even equally yoked. But people were saying we weren't equally yoked for the wrong things. To be honest, we were the same yoke. Both of us fornicating, both of us living in sin. We the same yoke. People were saying we weren't equally yoked because I went to Spelman, and because I'm smart, and because she has her businesses, she has her life together, she speaks like this, she's not outside all kinds of ungodly hours. So people are focusing on the wrong things. Even you guys need to understand. God is also telling me to tell y'all this as well. Don't worry about somebody being yoked based off of worldly things. Worry about somebody being yoked because of God. Is God in both of those people? And if God is in one and not the other, then they're not equally yoked. God don't care if, he from the hood and I'm from the suburbs. We both from the hood. So I'm just saying, God don't care if I speak properly and, enunciate every single letter in every word. And he speaks Blackanese, or whatever y'all want to call it, Ebonics, whatever you want to call it. Like, he from the SWATs. That's what we both are from, Zone 4 SWATs. And he don't care if I say Atlanta and he say Atlanta. Like, he don't care about none of that. Are we both serving him? Because he still talks that way today. Jeremy still talks the way he was talking when we first started dating today. But now the difference is God is within both of us. God is is embedded in us, and it's behind everything that we do now. So God doesn't care about all those worldly things. Like, those things don't matter. Those things don't matter. So yes, some people were in the right direction. I'm not saying not one person talking about it, because I couldn't remember every comment, but I do remember the bulk of the comments talking about we weren't equally yoked because of how I am, or what it seems like I should be with. Like, it seems like I should be with a man like this. You know how many false prophets there are? You know how so many pastors sit in front of the congregation speaking like I should be with somebody like that, and they are false prophets leading their churches? Come on now, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. And I was so blinded during that time that that wasn't my first. And the thing, like I said, from a child, like, y'all know, from when I first started my platform, I used to talk about, like, I want to be married, I want to have kids, and I don't care what order they come in. Well, I take that back. I did care what order they came in. That's why I went out here just popping it for anybody. But I genuinely did believe God said Jeremy was my person. I believe that in my whole heart. And I was right. I did hear God tell me that there was ways that we were bonded with one another to this day. We're just always in sync, and we've been that way from day one. But we should have sought God out first. We should have sought God out first. We would probably been married, never went through what we had to go through, because he was worshiping worldly things and lust was his generational curse that he was still so caught up in, of all of that. And he didn't realize it. Now, if you, like, I remember when Jeremy used to tell me when we talked about lust in the past, he'd be like, there are people back in the day, they used to have multiple wives. And I used to be telling him, you think, where is it that in the Bible? I used to ask him, where is it that in the Bible? But I never read and I never heard nobody talk about that. People, men be saying that for an excuse, but I knew that damn sure wasn't in the Bible. I was like, I don't think that's in the Bible, Jeremy. You just making up stuff. Let us talk about that now and hear his conviction of how stupid that sounds and how crazy and how heartbroken he is to have lived his life for so long with that mentality, that type of way of treating women was okay. And you know, like I said, the miscarriage was just the first thing, and lust came knocking at the door. God was right there behind lust, like I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm so blind to it. All I can see is like still. And I remember praying to God about it. I used to journal. I wrote to God very often in my pregnancy and was asking God, like, and it never dawned on me, like, well, remember when you was over here begging me for you to be pregnant? You never said, well, God, impregnate me when it's your will being done. You never said, hey, God, please bless our union to a point where we are married before you bless us with a child. You never talked about the things that I have so eloquently written out in the Bible for you guys to read and understand what I want for you, because I know your worldly desires sometimes will triumph over what I ordained for you. But there's a reason why I put these things in order, so that there's no chaos that ensues in the kingdom. Right now, chaos is ensuing all over this earth. And why? Because we're all living in our own worldly desires. We all want control. We all want power. We all want money. We all want fame. We all want notoriety. We all want all of these things that are not of God. And God wants us to have glory. God wants us to have money. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to, have, how can I say this, bedroom happiness with our married partner. God wants us to live a great life. But he has it set up because he created us and he knows we can get off track. And once you go off track, it sometimes can take you a long time to climb back up. It took us years to uncover what he's, and I wish that during that pregnancy, a light would have switched off. Or I would have been, I don't even know the word, but I would have just been selfless enough and not selfish to worry about me and my desires, to just know what I should have done or how it should have been done. If I would have known, I was so scared at that time to worry about man that I'm making promises that I literally have to live with to this day. I'm making agreements with him about things that we have to both live with to this day, instead of setting godly boundaries in place to say, look, we've done this. God has now come in the situation. He's spoken to me. So look, this is what's about to happen. God told me that if we X, Y, and Z, and I'm not telling y'all how to handle y'all situation, because I'm very influential and I don't want to influence people to do anything. You have to seek God for your answers. But what I'm saying is, in that moment, if I would have been like, hey, look, this is what God wants of us. So it's either you do it this way or you have no parts of me at all. Period. Point blank. It's either we in this with God or we out of this. I don't care about what you want, what anybody look like, what anybody told you, what you feel like temporarily, because God will show you all the time these temporary pleasures is so temporary. Y'all know how much money I've made in a short period of time, and that money is gone off of worldly things. You'll have that memory, but that feeling won't last forever. You'll be chasing that feeling for the rest of your life. So why not seek a person who you can share and grow with God in for the rest of your life, so you all can both be chasing the high of God and riding that cloud of holiness up until it's time for God to call y'all home. Why play with your soul in that magnitude? We both play with our souls. And so many people, like I said, like, this walk is serious to me, and I just know that even if for the next few weeks y'all get these long drawn out parts of these vlogs, if God calls me to talk to y'all about something, I just thought I was about to make up this bed and go on my computer real quick to go send something for a house that I'm under contract for. I picked up this camera and things just come over me because God is saying, talk more about what you went through privately when you lost sight of me. Tell these people what happened to you, Keesha. Tell people what happened when you lost sight of me, so they won't do the same or won't continue to do the same. So this is for me to be able to look back for my kids. God forbid anything happens to me, this will be on the internet and they can always go and watch and say, like, my mom was such an amazing mom and she taught us about God, the love of God, the will of God, and to serve God. And this, okay, y'all, I didn't talk long enough. So that's just what I want to say today. Y'all, I promise you, for the intros, it won't be that long of a story. It'll be quick little. Maybe I should write some stuff down so I can just have some stuff, or pre-film a few of them so I can make sure it's like down to a minute or two. But I just hope my testimonies are helping you guys, and like, I don't know, that's just really what I hope over all of this. It's like, I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for everyone who supports and loves me, and I'm praying for the ones whose spirits have not turned to God and have sought Jesus. Like, I'm genuinely praying for you. So,
who are you praying for?
Jeremy.
Who are you praying for?
You,
Keesha?
babe. And talk a little bit for people who, because some parts of this is going to disturb people because they're not where I am with my walk, or they have not turned their lives over to God. So they're going to be aggravated, and it's going to be all kinds of frustrations, like hearing me talk so much about God. It's gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is like, girl, I don't want to hear this. It's gonna disrupt your peace, and that's okay. You're not there yet, but I pray for you. I genuinely have softened my heart to the trolls because they know no better. They know no better. They have not found peace with God, and that is a very, very sad life to live. So when I speak out, I speak in harmony for all watchers of this platform, because my overall message has to extend past just the people who love me, who love my relationship, who love my kids. I can't just only speak to y'all. I can't only wish you guys well. I can't only pray for you guys. I genuinely have to have happiness and positive prayers for everyone, because God wants me to love everyone. So I hope also you have a great day, and you just try just a little bit to soften your heart and take that evilness out of you before your time comes. And that's all for this message. I'll come back a little bit later on after I'm done with my meeting, and we'll talk a little bit more. But we're trying to really finish the video for our other channel. So like I said, go check our description if y'all want to see that DIY project, and subscribe, because we're gonna have a lot of DIY projects coming up. After this one goes good, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing, because I'm gonna be in here damn taking the roof off the house, rebuilding it, if you know. if I get the funds to do it and get the tools, because a lot of it is also on the tools. You gotta have the tools, you gotta have the time, you gotta have the discipline. When you have all those things, you can be a general contractor yourself. The only thing we're not gonna play around with is electrical and plumbing stuff. We're gonna always seek out a professional. But other than that, y'all, watch. I mark my words, y'all gonna see some miraculous buildings up in this household. I'm gonna feel like I can do it all after we get done with this build out, but we gonna find out. So y'all go subscribe to that channel.